that is Congressman Benny Thompson. This passion has been evidenced in an opportunity with H.R. 1, which was the bill to implement the recommendations of the National Commission. In that bill, there is an earmark for universities to become centers of excellence. And our chairman sought to make sure that there was diversity within the universities that were placed in that earmark. This is one of those good earmarks, by the way. And as a result, we have Texas Southern University, the university of which you just spoke, as well as Tougaloo in Mississippi in there, and they will share in a $72 million pool of money, these two universities. You might want to do an interview with him about that, because he really is a person who deserves the credit. I'm just a messenger. He made this possible. There are people who speak and there are people who act. He is a doer, he is an actor, and I think you ought to give him an expression of appreciation for that. So I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
Let me, if I may add to that, I think this is very, very important, because for some reason, this keeps getting missed. We just passed, the President has now signed, the largest increase in, well, I should say investment in student education, higher education, in the history of the country, or since the GI Bill. We just passed a bill that allows college students to halve their interest rates on their student loans from 6.8 down to 3.4%. That bill also increased Pell Grants by $1,089 per grant. And that bill does something else. It has an investment of $170 million for HBCUs dedicated to that purpose. And that gets missed. I don't see it anywhere. And so what I want us to begin to do is this commitment on the part of these men and women here to HBCUs, to students, their educational pursuits, making college education affordable. It is beyond anything that I have seen since I've been in the Congress, and this is my 50th year. Even when we went back and started doing the Katrina stuff, people only talked about what was going on with levees and all that kind of stuff. We put billions in the Katrina bill for public education to stand back up for the schools, because this administration used that opportunity to start experimenting with the public schools, and so we did that. And I think that if you look at all of the legislation, as when I sit around the table in leadership meetings, I insist that every bill that we consider, there has two things in it. The faith component is in them, and there is an HBCU component in every piece of legislation that we consider. And so I'm very, very proud of what we're doing. The problem you've got is that this administration has not made the kind of commitment to signing these bills. They're about to veto, what was that? S-chip. They just vetoed S-chip.
They did veto.
We're going to try to override that on October 18th. We're talking about $35 billion in health care. And the problem that I have with the S-chip bill to be passed, and I heard this today, and I don't think people realize why young children fall behind by the time they get to 2nd and 3rd grade. They fall behind in 2nd and 3rd grade because they can't see. And there is no vision care in this bill. We passed one in the House with vision care in it, but the Senate refused to consider a bill with vision care. Now you got to ask yourself, something must be sinister about that. Why would you do dental and mental and not do vision? I think there's something sinister going on.
We hope you get copies of, or Dr. Leonard, I hope you'll see that everyone gets a copy of the agendas. When we talk about what the CBC works on, we are the conscience of the Congress. It's very important that you know that, and that when you see us working, and I hope Dr. Leonard has, and he'll take away with you, those pieces of legislation, were it not be for the 43 members here, who are not standing here, but in this caucus, as well as some of our Latino and other good Democratic colleagues, there would not be a raise in the minimum wage. There would not be money for Katrina, like we've been able to put in, and those kinds of things. So take that away with you and talk about it. So what we're trying to do is encourage not young people just to be good in school, but for our adults to become engaged in the body politic. So you can take back your country next November, get behind a presidential candidate, or else your grandchildren won't have an America like we've grown up in.
I think one of the most important things will be the debate we will have on October 18th. We're going to try to override the president's veto. And since you have us here, this is the time for us to make a plea to you. I believe this is the state where the President of the United States lives, and this is where he's from, correct?
Yes, it is, yes.
All right. I would like you to get all of your organizations and all your representatives to put some pressure on his caucus members to override his veto. If we talk about homeland security, it's not the land, it's the people on the land. And if we cannot offer health care to our youth, we have no future. So one of the things you can do, we came here to you, and you can help us by putting some pressure on the White House and on members of Congress. Don't send me an email. You don't have to send them. But members of the Republican caucus need to hear from you. We need 15 to 18 of them, and if they hear from you, we might be able to override that veto.
What's it? Is it going to take a simple majority or a 2/3 vote?
290 votes in the House is what's
290.
required.
67 in the Senate.
So we need your senators. You have 2 senators who are not Democrats. So go get them to vote.
Yes.
You let them know. That's the kind of help we need.
The reason we put that burden on you all is so often we get asked the question, what is the Black Caucus doing? And the framework is we're moving closer and farther to getting things done now because the politics of the country is moving in our direction. Over the next year and 14 months, we will be actively engaged in encouraging constituents in our district and in America to go out and voice their opinion. And we think it's important because if you're concerned about education, if you're concerned about diversity, if you're concerned about all those issues we talk about today, then you need to exercise it at the ballot box by supporting those candidates who also support those issues. So it's about the caucus coming here, going across the country, but it's really energizing this community to moving forward and promoting what's in its best interest. So that's why we're here under the auspices of the Political and Education Institute of the Caucus. And, we want to thank all our members who came. Great sacrifice. Jim Cliven and leadership worked living daylights out. And you can imagine Barbara Lee is from California. Diane is from California. And here they are in Texas. But it's because of the commitment as members of the caucus. We sacrificed going to our district to come here to kind of listen, but to move forward.
One-on-one. Thank you for coming. We gotta move. Go to the next one. We can talk to them one-on-one. Yes, here's the co-chair.
Thank you. I want to mention my co-chair, Congresswoman Johnson. She's not here because of a pending circumstance with her family. So please keep her in your prayers. I will not say more. I think it appropriate.